Lake team that's given Louisville and Duke some pretty good games.
They're good, very talented. Obviously, you return a nucleus of Cody McIntyre and Devin Thomas.
Yeah.
You know, you know, they have guys that have played a lot of minutes. And people forget, you know, last year I think they won 17 or 18 games. Won big games, I think, against Duke, against North Carolina and North Carolina State at home. You know, so, you know, Danny's done a great job with them. Obviously, Thomas is playing exceptionally well right now, as is Miller McIntyre. It's just, you know, a very sound team that's starting to really understand, you know, the nuances of the new system, but they're able to do it with a pretty good package in place.
Your team has rebounded very well this year, but you're going to face a team that is one of the better rebounding teams in the league, plus they have one of the best rebounders in the league.
Yeah, you know, so you have to be focused, you know, on Thomas. Obviously, he's a tremendous rebounder, tremendous offensive rebounder, but they do a good job of getting other guys involved as well. And so for us, you know, one of our, you know, cornerstones is, you know, controlling the glass, and we have to do that on both ends of the court.
Is finishing second chance points a bigger priority for you right now?
Well, it is, and sometimes that's skewed a little bit. You know, I've said it before, I'm not always sure about the stat crew, the interpretation of some of that stuff. But I just think that, you know, us finishing plays around the basket overall is something that we need to improve in. You know, we spend a lot of time on our free throw shooting, as we always have. It's just, you know, guys are, you know, gaining a little more confidence there. And so now, you know, we need to finish some of those plays around the basket, be it off an offensive rebound. And sometimes the things you have to do on an offensive rebound is kick the ball out. If you're swarmed in there, if there's a big mess of guys. You know, and again, that's a feel, you know, and you don't want to take the aggressiveness away from a player when he gets an offensive rebound or to power back up. But, you know, again, that gamesmanship is important, and that's an area that we need to improve on a little bit.
What goes into finishing better?
You know, a lot. You know. The one thing we have to realize, I think I mentioned after the game, we're in conference play now, so the game's going to be a little more physical. You know, and so, you know, all those things, and you know, we have the strength inside. You know, it just. You can't like point to one thing. This is what we need to do, and all of a sudden we'll finish better. It's a little bit of everything. A little bit of keeping your eye on the glass and on the rim, keeping your chin up through the contact, knowing contact's coming, not embracing the fact that there's going to be contact. So some of it's mentality, and some of it is, you know, some physical attributes as well.
You mentioned DeMarco and just the length that Syracuse was maybe posing, but looking back at it again, is that kind of what you?
Yeah, you know,
they've
done that to a lot of people, and have done that for 30-some years now. You know, I mean, and that's, you know, but in this league, you're going to have some of that, and so, you know, when you have opportunities, I think in general, offensively, when we have quality scoring opportunities, we need to do a little better job of finishing that play out. Be it an open jump shot, be it a shot around the basket, be it a post move, be it mid-range game, whatever the case might be. The one thing is that we have to always understand is when we get those quality looks, we have a much better chance of getting a second look off that possession as well.
You got the ball. Yeah, I think you look at the stats from the game. You got 20-plus shots from your two big inside guys. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, you know, I would say if those two guys are getting between 14 and 20 shots a game, that's what we want. Now, some of that is within offense. Some of that, again, as we talked about, is on offensive rebounds. But that means they're getting scoring opportunities, and that bodes well for us usually.
One thing when you look at Wake's stats, they're right near the top of the league in foul throws. I mean, free throws attempted. So that's
yeah, and it's a big part of their game. You know, getting the ball into Thomas, driving the ball with Miller McIntyre. You know, so you have to do a good job They got some good young shooters as well. They can really put the ball in the basket, and they play, even though they got good size at the 4, they play primarily stretch 4s that, you know, shoot the 3. So you have to do a good job of understanding when you need to really shrink the court and when you need to extend it.
And of course, those two guys probably will take about 50% of their shots too, so they're a big focus.
Yeah, they're, you know, I think when they've played well, they've had, you know, a couple other guys step up, but obviously there's no question who their go-to guys are. And they've proven themselves in this league. I think they were both on the all-freshman team, and they're all league-type performers, no question about it.
Regarding free throws, I would think that you'd feel better if you could squeeze out 2-3 more. Again, particularly it seems like you've been shooting really well too.
Yeah. I mean, our goal is to get to the 20 mark.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now when you place, you know, like it was interesting because, you know, you want to work the ball against that zone. So it was a much slower paced game, less possession game, very similar to the game last year we played them. So neither one of us, you know, even got in the bonus because there wasn't as many fouls. So that game's kind of a, I don't know, is the correct word, outlier? Yeah, outlier. You know, so, you know, but, you know, in a regular type game, you want to get there. You know, our goal is to get to the free throw line 20 times.
You talked a little bit about the turnovers from Chuck in the last game. Is that a matter of sometimes of being a little over anxious instead of letting it come to him?
Well, you know, 2 of them were on a post up and a screen. Believe me, I live with those. Those are fine. If you want to set a really good hard screen and the ref chooses to call it on that particular case, I have no issue there. And on a hard duck in the post, if he takes the guy out once a game, twice a game, I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah, let him know you're
there. It's, you know, a couple of them were, you know, we showed him on film. And in the first half, they trapped him in the post. He did an unbelievable job. Got out of the trap, made the next pass. DeMarco hits a layup. When you're post trapped or trapped at all, your number one job is to get the ball out of the trap. And 2 of his turnovers, a little overzealous, tried to score out of the trap. And that again, we talked about Syracuse's length and all that. That's going against their strength. And that's the thing that you know. And he's done a much better job. You know, we've really worked on his footwork. We've worked on his, you know, catching and ripping it and seeing the court. Because he has a knack to make some plays with the ball. Sometimes he just goes a little too fast.